Please turn on your video and get ready to welcome your host. Please turn on your video and get ready to welcome your host. In 2015, he sold his first software company, then wrote a book about it. You purchased over 30,000 copies, making it an instant Wall Street Journal bestseller. Then he collected data points from 3,000 B2B SaaS CEOs through his podcast. He went on to raise a $145 million fund to do debt deals with software founders that wanted to keep equity. He's financed 403 software founders, totaling $150 million. In 2024, he's averaging 3 to 4 new deals per week. He's a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, an exited SaaS founder, and the CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FounderPath. Please put your webinar hands together and welcome to the studio, Nathan Latka.
What is going on, everybody? Happy June. It is getting hot here in Austin, Texas, and I'm stoked to be with all of you today. We can cut to the back shot really quick. You guys can see I'm here in my living room. We're going to have a blast today. I can see all of your faces on the right side. and the left side. So I want you guys to unmute yourself, not unmute yourself. Do not do that. That would be a nightmare. Turn your video on though. If you're in the middle of your lunch here on June 10th, if Chipotle sauce is dripping down your cheeks, I don't care, Tina Sadagi. I want to see your face. I want to see everybody's face. Kevin Nako looks like he's on his treadmill, keeping up with those New Year's resolutions. Give it up for Kevin. 6 months in, he's sticking to it, man. We love that. Kevin is here. We've got Dror building Coro. Dror, good to see you. Gabriel is here and munching on his lunch. It's great. Charlie Fritsch, good friend. I see you all the time. It's good to see you again. Guys, if we haven't met, my name is Nathan Latka. Let's test the chat really quick here on Zoom. Guys, if this is your first time, just type yes in the chat. And I know a lot of you guys are joining on LinkedIn. I see you 35 viewers on X as well. I can see your big screen. If we cut to my back shot here in my living room, I can see you guys up on my front TV. So we're broadcasting all over the place. Jonathan said yes. Charlie said not first time. Mika with Boom Corp is here. I'm gonna make one of our guests, Tycho, co-host. So Tycho, hang tight, you're coming up here later. But guys, we're gonna have a blast today. You should see my screen. You should see please turn video on. I have asked my in-studio team to go ahead and start removing people in 31 seconds when this countdown ends. We just wanna reserve all the space for folks that are sharing their face. And guys, part of this crazy setup we have is I can't actually see how many of you are joining live today. We've got a lot of software founders. Raise your hand if you're you own at least 5% of a software company. Raise it high. Come on, raise it high. This is our net worth. We're rich on paper. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We're going to have some fun. So you guys see everyone raising their hands. This is a really great curated group of founders today. And look, it's an exciting time to be building, right? AI is changing, Google is changing, LMs are sort of changing everything. And so we thought what we'd focus on today here in June was what are the fastest growing founders doing? What are the 9 AI tactics they're using to add a real revenue quickly? Now, you guys know my style. Those of you that know my style, put in the chat. Am I data focused or not data focused? Am I data focused or not data focused? All right. Data focused, right? So you guys know every one of these tactics. It's not theory. Those of you that are joining for the first time, you're going to learn from special guests. I'm going to screen share. It's going to be great. Here is our playbook for today, guys. Here's our playbook. These are the 9 tactics we're going to go over with the 9 real examples. We're going to start off with 9 million SEO tactics, Sug Magic to use. We're going to learn from a guest expert who's going to teach us all to build an agent in N8N in 3 minutes. You're going to see how one LinkedIn post drove $50,000 of MRR. You read that right, 50,000 of MRR. I'm going to show you guys in section 2 for about 10 minutes how to go viral. I got the guy. He is the most successful content creator for the B2B software niche on LinkedIn. He constantly gets 10,000 likes on his videos. He's going to teach you how he does it. We're going to learn from Paywall and how they got Superwall and how they got 3,000 customers. We have another guest on, Wes Bush, talking about PLG in the age of AI. And then guys, the last 15 minutes, we're gonna wrap up with affiliate strategy that I think you're gonna be really shocked when you see it. We're gonna talk about SEO in the age of AI with SEO Bot. And lastly, wrap up with another special guest, Jacob, building Relay or a Relay app, which is, he's built a beautiful org chart that automates a bunch of his go-to-M motions. So guys, out of curiosity, just to get the sort of energy flowing here, label all these on your screen, sort of 1 through 9. Imagine there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on all of them. Which one are you most excited to learn? Put in the chat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8, 9. What are we most curious on? Let me unmute one of you guys I haven't met before. Diksha Sharma, can I pick on you? Will you unmute yourself? What are you most interested in learning?
I'm most excited about the SEO part because that's very much related to my job and that was the instant pull for me.
I love that. And I'm seeing in the chat, David says 9, Michael said 9, Linda said 6, On God said 2. Really cool group. Okay, Ruslan just said 3 in the chat. Remember, guys, when I ask you to put something in the chat, I can see it live. It's your direct connection to me, right? So it's super cool. Jay just said 6. So that's great. I thought you guys would like this data. I've never done this on a webinar before, but it's kind of cool to see who else is live, right? So what you see here on my screen is right before the webinar, I downloaded the full RSVP list and I did a pivot table in Excel. So check this out real quick. Here's who's live today. This is who's joining. You can see it's by job title. Right, so about 776 of RSVPs were founders, and you can see the concentration there is 264 of you are doing between $1 million and $5 million of revenue. We've got a lot of people, 382 of you are on the growth team. Raise your hand if you're on a growth team at a software company. A lot of growth folks, right? Maybe. Okay, we got a lot of growth folks here. You can see the scale in terms of the revenue there. And then we've got some investors, other role at SaaS companies. So kind of cool stats here. Here's one other stat I want to show you guys. When we are building, right, and we're working together to grow our software companies, many of you guys have listened to the podcast that I put out, right? Over 3,700 episodes created. I started hearing the same 33 growth tactics over time. And Alex, I realized something really quick. I go, you know what? There's nothing new. Really, there isn't. History repeats itself. There are really only 33 ways to grow your software company. And here they are. Here they are on a map, right? And what this map shows, it's color-coded by job title, right? It's color-coded by job title. Now, if you guys are running some growth tactic that I don't have plotted here that is crushing it for you, please put it in the Zoom chat, because I would love to feature you on a future webinar, but I'll ask you to bring proof if you're going to teach it to our audience. These are the 34 growth tactics. Now, because I've recorded so much content across 3,700 interviews, I actually have deep courses, free courses on every single one of these tactics. As we jump in, and this is your way to sort of tell me what you're thinking about in terms of growth here in June of 2025, I'd like to know which one you're testing. So I'm going to post this link. I put this chart up on a LinkedIn post. And so I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat right now. And all I want you to do is like the post and then reshare and tell me what you're testing right now. Are you testing influencer marketing? Are you testing co-marketing, newsletters, programmatic SEO, review sites? Are you doing inorganic growth with acquisitions? Are you focusing on value-added resellers? While you guys are doing that, I'm going to pick on one of you. Is it pronounced Bruno Recht? Bruno, can I pick on you? What are you building, and what growth tactic are you using?
Sure. So we're building UserFlix, which automates user research. And right now it's mostly cold outreach that we are trying.
Cold outreach, really interesting. So what do you consider a good reply rate on your cold emails?
I think about 15% would be good. I'm currently getting about 20, 25 or in that range.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So Bruno, it's good to meet you, man. Thanks for coming on. So
Yeah,
guys, all I'm
likewise.
asking you to do is come to the post here. Just give it a little like, and then when you click repost, right? Repost with your thoughts and say, Nathan, like Bruno just said, Nathan, I'm testing cold outreach. And after the webinar, I'm going to go, everyone that reposts, I'm going to directly DM someone like Bruno. I'll directly DM you the specific course we created for that growth tactic that you're testing. Is that cool? It's a quick way for me to give you guys like deep value specific to each one of you. Now, I can't see how many people are live, but I think I'm gonna have my hands full after this. Can you guys maybe tell me, can you see the Zoom count? I think we probably have 150, maybe 200, maybe 220 people, founders live based off the registration list. But I will get to all of you guys. I will get to all of you guys. So there's the link again in the chat, and those are our growth tactics. All right. Let's jump into a little teaser here. Who are you going to meet today? Who's joining us live? Our guest experts. Tycho. Guys, come on. Who has seen Tycho's LinkedIn videos? You guys know what I'm talking. He does it in the car. He does it based off like Wolf on Wall Street, but it's all focused on B2B SaaS. He has hilarious videos. He's going to come on and teach us how does he go viral consistently? What's his 3-part framework and mistakes to avoid? You can see his last post here. Can you guys read this? The number of comments here. I mean, this is the definition of going viral, right? So Tycho's going to crush it. We've got Jacob Bank coming on. A lot of you guys saw his LinkedIn post. Do you remember this one? It's basically a big org chart but it's all agents. I mean, it's incredible. It's got like 40 agents powering his go-to-market motion. He's going to come on and teach us, right, how he's replaced a bunch of humans with this AI org chart, how to build fast. He's going to show you the process live of building these agents. We've got Manthan, a new friend, joining. Manthan, I see you in the chat up here. If I go back to my back shot here, I can see you over here in my living room on the screen. We're excited to learn from you here shortly. He's going to show you guys how to build an agent, even if you can't code, all in under 5 minutes. The last time he put this content up on LinkedIn, it got 16,000 engagements. He's a really incredible teacher. So that's our outlook today. We spent the first 10 minutes talking about our plan today, these 9 tactics. And those of you just joining live, I'm Nathan Latka. We're going to jump into this content for the next 40 minutes. Let's jump into section 1. Focus on sub-magic, N8N, and going viral on LinkedIn with real revenue. So the first thing I want to talk about is what sub-magic has done. Now, David, by the way, if you're here, I know I interviewed you last week, but if you're in studio, there's so many attendees, I can't see you. Just say something in the chat and we'll unmute you if you're here. But guys, what sub-magic has done is they've built a video. Actually, I'll just show you. This is their tool. It looks really simple, right? Looks really simple. a lot of B2B marketers are using this tool to create content at scale. They basically automatically make shorts for you, right? So like Alex Hormozy, a bunch of these kinds of content creators, right? Guys, a lot of these folks use submagic.ai. And I said, I had David on, I said, David, show me how you've grown so fast. And he said, well, Nathan, look at this spike right here in our SEO. You guys see this spike? Read this orange dot right here. That's organic traffic, guys, per month. Imagine what would happen if your site had that many hits per month, right? 10 million. Now, then it collapsed, right? So what happened? What happened? What was it? Can any of you guys guess what this was? Can any of you guess the growth tactic he tested here? Any guesses? And while you guys are putting that in the chat, again, don't be bashful on X, don't be bashful on LinkedIn. Manoj Reddy Rala, I see you joining. You're most excited about section number 5. I see you guys on YouTube joining as well. But again, what do you guys think it is? Where's Tony? Tony, unmute yourself. Who said free tools? Where's Tony?
Here,
Tony, where are you, man?
Paris.
There he is. Okay, he's literally in Paris, but there he is on the screen. Why did you guess free tools?
Because I guess video and AI video is pretty up for building free tools. You know, like create a free video, create a free subs, create a free short from a link. So
I think you and David are friends. He's obviously based in France as well. I think he told you this because you nailed it. That's exactly what happened. So guys, just to be clear, here's what they did. Do you guys see up here this drop down called free tools? He basically launched all of these free tools. Now you guys can launch free tools like this using N8N. You're about to learn this actually from Manthan. He's going to teach us exactly how to do this. This works so well for Submagic. It drove 10 million organics per month for several months. Now guys, Submagic, they just broke, listen, this is crazy, 8 million of ARR with a team of 13. Bootstrapped, and they did it in 2.5 years. Right? Incredible story. The reason I bring that up is don't let this graph overwhelm you. You don't have to do every growth tactic. You just have to nail 1 or 2 and sort of stack them on top of each other. Right? So that's what Submagic did. So if you want to copy Submagic using the N8N, you really want to pay attention right now because I'm really excited to introduce Manthan Patel. Manthan, are you there? Go and unmute yourself. How are you, man?
Doing awesome, living the dream, as they say.
Living the dream. You know, I really wanted you to come on live, but you're based in Bangalore, I believe, or Mumbai. Where are you based? Chennai, Mumbai?
Yeah, similar location in India.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's midnight where you are, right?
Yep.
Guys, come on. Feed him some energy. Round of applause. He's going to coach us up here in a second. Manthan. So you're an expert at packaging your content and teaching it. Go ahead and share screen whenever you're ready and walk us through in the next 4 minutes. What are you going to show people? What are we going to learn?
Awesome. So whenever I am on any SaaS platform or any SaaS website, I always try to trigger the
Did
free
you lose
tools.
audio? No.
Yeah.
Manthan, you
Yes.
keep going. I can't hear you, but you keep going, okay?
Yeah. So I always try to come up with the free tools and test it out, but I end up losing my email address to them. And this is what we are going to build in N8N without you having to write a single line of code in matter of only 5 minutes. As you can see, this is a free tool, which is a basically spam checker or cold emails, and they are getting around 11,000, 10,000 monthly free organic visits for you without you having to do anything. So let's build this inside N8N. So first thing we need to do is we need to get we need to obviously get the subject line and the email body of that spam checker. So first of all, the first node is going to be our trigger node inside N8N. And if you don't know what is N8N, you might be living under a rock.
So guys, while Manthan is doing this and setting up his environment, guys, N8N is sort of like all these tools you can build agents. We're going to learn from Jacob at Relay App as another option. It's basically a no-code way to build agents that automate different things. And what Manthan is teaching you is if you're a non-technical founder that want to launch free tools quickly, like in this case, it's basically a spam email checker. He's showing you how to do that in N8N. So yeah, keep walking us through this, Manthan.
Yeah, so we will get basically 2 input from the user, which is the subject line. So we want to make sure that we find out any spam word or any spam sentence in the subject line. Same goes in the email body. So I'm just hard coding the value right now since it is just a demo. So these are all the spam words that I've added. For example, the link I've also added in the email copy. So by using a basic custom logic inside N8N, which is the code node, and that's the beauty of N8N. This you can easily embed your JavaScript code, Python code inside Anytime, and you don't have to write this code on your own. Trust me, you can easily go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will write the entire code for you. Here you can see this code will analyze all the spam words, all the spam copy inside my code email address. So let's execute the step. And you can see this is the result. We are not using any LLMs like OpenAI, Anthropic. It is doing for free, and you don't have to pay a single penny. So it has detected all the spam word from my email body. It has detected all the spam word from my email subject line and any links that are available inside my canvas. And what we want to do is we want to send this data back to our Lovable lab. Yes, this site was built by Lovable within just 5 prompts, and you can easily build it for you. So all we need to do is just enter our or your prospect will just enter the subject line and the email body. So let's use this email body. And you can see I'm adding my link. I'm adding all the spam words, and whenever someone will click on spam check, it will show us the detailed analysis of this email body or the subject line. So these are the spam words used in our subject line. These are the spam words used in our email body and any link if found. You can also see the overall spam analysis. This mail is likely going to be in the spam folder. So by using this tool, so by using Anytime, you can easily create this type of free tools that you can offer to your audience as a lead magnet to gain organic traffic as well as build trust with your audience. It's nothing too crazy. It's really short and simple, and you can the sky's the limit with Anytime. So it is just to give you a glimpse. You can go way further to it.
Guys, I love this. Now, guys, think about questions you've got from Anthon. We're going to do 2 minutes of questions here. But guys, out of curiosity, let's just brainstorm some free tools together. What are some free tools you think you could launch for your business? In this case, again, you would launch this tool if you were building like an email marketing SaaS, right? Because you'd give this away for free to potential leads to say, hey, if you're writing go-to-market messages and emails, check it for spam first. And then when the report generates on the right, Anthon, they could put up a thing that says, wait, to get your full report, enter your email. And then it's lead gen, right?
100%. And here we are also adding the email address. So we will send this entire analysis to their email. So again, it's all customizable to you. The sky is the limit with Anytime.
I love this. And guys, you're having some great ideas there. Jim Doherty said estimate tax waste. Jacob Bank had a good one. Guys, try not to put promotional stuff in the chat just because it makes it really hard for me to follow along. But yeah, Kevin said churn predictor. Patrick said free SEO rank tracker. And then people are saying, can you use some blocks of code, some pre-written text? Can you email that to me so I can send it out with the recording so everyone can copy and paste?
100%. Plus, I have an entire video lecture, 17-minute video lecture, so I will send it as well so that you can easily set up inside Anytime without you have to do anything.
Ooh, wait, I love that. Do you have that link handy right now?
Yeah, I will send it right over in the chats.
Guys, raise your hand. Do we want that template from Anthon? Did he deliver? I said you have 5 minutes to deliver as much as you can. Do we want it? Give him a heck yes in the chat. 0 to 10 if I should have Anthon back on to teach us NA, and 10 being Nathan, have him on every month. He was incredible. Menthon, there you go in the chat. Okay, we love this. It's a new space. It's exciting, guys. There's so many people talking about building agents, but there's very few actually doing it to save themselves time, like Menthon. So Menthon, guys, he just put a Loom tutorial in the chat. Menthon, you have permission to keep spamming the chat with your link because you just delivered and taught us a bunch. And I want to say just again, thanks again. We appreciate you having you on.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else you want to add before you leave? Where can people learn more about you online?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, search for Lead Gen Man or Manthan Patel, and I will be there.
Lead Gen Man. So can people pay you to build this for them? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, we have an entire agency. You can reach out to me and we will help you out.
I love that. So guys, just so you know, here's Manthan here. He's the Lead Gen Man, leadgenman.com. Incredible LinkedIn content. If you're trying to get better at LinkedIn content, go study how he does it. He teaches tight, succinct, really good content. Guys, give it up for Manthan. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right. So guys, you learned from Submagic about free tools. Then you learned exactly how to do it to replicate their strategy. Next, what I want to jump into is Amos Bar Joseph, the $50,000 LinkedIn post. Now, I interviewed him on my podcast 2 weeks ago, and he said, Nathan, this one LinkedIn post generated $50,000 of new monthly recurring revenue. That's 600K of ARR. I'm not going to tell you the tactic he used, but I want you to go study his posts and try and find the trend. And the reason I'm telling you that is, once you find the trend, you want to try and articulate the trend and store it. Now, I'm going to teach you guys quickly how I do this, how I store my copywriting. So it's a repeatable process over and over to go viral on LinkedIn or on YouTube or when you're sending out email blasts. How many of you guys, out of curiosity, just put Claude in the chat? Claude in the chat. How many of you guys are already using Claude projects to store copywriting, frameworks? Jora said yes. Frederick said yeah. Okay, a bunch of people. Caesar said Claude. Okay, so guys, here's how I'm doing it. All I'm doing, my first thing, like my main content is I'm getting the interview transcript from a podcast recording, right? And then I have it do a bunch of stuff, generate a YouTube description, do a script intro, do webinar topics. So for example, like David at SubMagic, I interviewed him, right? I fed Claude that transcript. And now if I want to convert it to a YouTube description, I just say, and I prompt it, and I've actually just written the memory so well that you just basically type YouTube description, and I've already trained Claude on specifically how I do YouTube subscriptions that I know my audience likes, which is really, really heavy on timestamps and data points. So you see it writing it right here, right? The YouTube description, I'm going to say their ARR is this, their affiliate commission is this, their revenue share is this, their SEO traffic strategy is this, their top 10 growth tactics are this, this, and this, with the timestamps here. Right, I can then very quickly copy and paste that over to my YouTube channel, right, into a new piece of content going out. So for example, the full interview with David at Substack is going live in, well, it went live about an hour ago, right? Went live an hour ago. And if I go look at this, oh gosh, I don't want to have to, you're going to give me a verification check in the middle of a webinar, Google, come on. Let's see if I can get by this really fast, hold on. Okay, that was easy, that wasn't bad. All right, but what you guys will see here is in the description, let me go up here. You guys see here how the description is automatically created like this? And what makes it easy is now,
today we are at
if you watch the video and you click more here and you only want to learn about how, how they run their affiliate program strategy, you just click the timestamp and it takes
deeper
you to that
here,
part of
right? So you
content. So this used to take me, guys, 3 hours. I'd have to listen to the transcript, write it, bookmark it. Well, now I've just trained Claude. Right. So how many of you guys you feel like you're sort of at this level? You're training Claude with projects. This is the training over here, right? I've trained it over here. Can you please use the transcript to create a YouTube description? Do it in this format. Do it with this labeling. Here's a good example. And then I just rinse, wash, repeat over and over. How many of you guys look, I do this and I get goosebumps sometimes, right? Because of how I used to have a full-time person doing this, right? This stuff works really, really well when you do it right. So guys, to sum up, we just went through my Claude. To sum up section 1, you saw a growth tactic working for a B2B software company, SubMagic, bootstrapped. He added $1 million in revenue the last 30 days. And that actually full interview just went live on my YouTube. And then we brought him in Thon as an expert to teach you how to do this kind of thing in N8N, in Gumloop. You're going to learn from Jacob here later on, Bank, how to do it in relay.app. And then lastly, I showed you how to create and automate your content creation process in Claude once you find patterns of content that works well. The last thing I'll say on content, guys, is a lot of people say, Nathan, what makes content work? And the secret's not really a secret, in my opinion. Just like my podcast, it's been one per day since 2017. Don't even start putting content out if you're not prepared to do it consistently in a repeatable way for a long period of time, because it compounds like crazy. I see Manthan shaking his head. Manthan, I know you post consistently on LinkedIn about every 2 days, right?
Yeah, no, I post around like 4 times every single day. So pure
4
sheer.
times a day.
Yep, 4 times, 3 times.
Wow. And I guess many people would say, well, wait, Manthan, tell me more about that, because I feel like people would unfollow me if I'm posting that much, but you have 94,746 followers.
No, because my entire audience is around the global. So somewhere it is night, somewhere it is day. That's why I have to make sure that I'm present every single way. So this is like this post. So we did like 4 posts today.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Yeah, guys, I have a lot more to learn from Manthan, but again, you just learned there in section 1. So guys, out of curiosity, we just wrapped up the first section, right? Section was all about building the agents, getting traffic, going viral on LinkedIn. Did you learn at least one thing? Did you get at least one idea, one aha moment in the first 20 minutes here? Just type aha in the chat. Anyone get at least one idea? Anybody? And Jora said yes. Wendy said aha. Frederick said yes, 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 aha. A lot of aha moments. We love that. Those of you just joining us, I'm here in my living room. Whether you're joining on X or LinkedIn, I see Oksana Struxiana joining on LinkedIn, Manaj on LinkedIn. We've got the full videos up here on the left and right. I can see everyone's face. I can see the full comment stream. We're engaging live. It should feel like a backyard barbecue. We're having a lot of fun. Let me cut back to my face here. There we go. Let's jump in. Actually, sorry, before we jump into going viral and expanding fast, our last 6 case studies, Guys, quick question here. This is a little self-serving, but I have no other way to collect this kind of data on webinars. Have we met before? Who's brand new? Just say brand new in the chat. Like if we haven't met before, say brand, like Nathan, first time. I've never met, I have no freaking clue who you are. You're probably jealous of this incredible comb over. You're probably going, how the hell does this guy have this webinar set up in his living room? What is going on? Okay. Somebody said, I didn't catch your name, but I said, he said brand new and I'm bald. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right. So a lot of people joining new. Guys, if we're just joining, like this is my embarrassing picture from college. I dropped out of architecture and taught myself to code because I realized I loved money. No offense to architects, but it is really hard to make money being an architect. So I taught myself to code, and this was 2009. And my mom said, Nathan, do not drop out until you hire a good, big, stable team. And I said, okay, Mom, I hired 40 people. Here it is, 40 people. Then she goes, Nathan, you're not dropping out unless you have like real money in the bank. Like, have you raised any money? Do you have backers? And I said, oh, fine, Mom, I'll go like raise money. So here it is with David Cohen, right? $2 million on an right here, 2 million Series A on an 8.5 post. Can I show you guys my cap table on the next screen? Do we want to see this? Do you have any guesses what you're about to see? It's just pretty gnarly. Here it is. This is my cap table after that round. Do you guys notice any strange titles over here on the right side? Anything look out of the ordinary? Anything look out of the ordinary? Yeah, I knew I was going to take about 20% dilution on the round. I didn't know I was going to take another 10% dilution on an adult supervision COO. What the hell, right? They're going, well, Nathan, we're never going to travel to Blacksburg, Virginia. You need to hire an adult supervision CEO. You're only 21 years old. I said, oh my gosh, this round was 30% dilution. I'm down to 38% now. What is going on, right? What is going on? And this is where things really went wild because I got this letter. In fact, this letter had such an impact on my life. I'm going to cut now to my book, right? The book, if you go and open to page 243, you're going to see the full contract here in the book. And you can see right here, the highlighted section, right? It was a 6.5 million all cash offer for me to sell the business, right? To sell the business, right in the book. And, you know, look, this was a good deal, you know, up until this point, I'd been paying myself a good amount of money. I have my pay stubs in the book. Like there's proof here what I was paying myself between 19 years old and 22 years old, right? And I'm going, wow, this is great. It's really working. But the issue is the board rejected because we just raised a 10.5 post, right? How many of you guys are like, just type VC in the chat if you've been through this railroad wreck before, train wreck before, right? It's hard. You lose your optionality a little bit, right? It's fine to shoot for the stars. Just got to know what board game you're playing. It's a different board game, right? It's a different board game. And so I said, oh my gosh, why do people raise VC? That's just a different opportunity and you're giving up so much optionality. So I sold the business. I sold Heyo. Still live today, but I sold Heyo. And then I said, I got to learn. So let me launch a podcast, right? Now, I got so addicted to the podcast, I eventually said, let me write a book on my first software company. Let me see if I can sell it. And guys, this is where we ended up on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. Can you see the number? We have 1 through 10 listed here. If you guys read some of the authors' names below me, do you recognize any of those people? We have any James Clear fans in the house? Any Patrick Lencioni? Any Jim Collins fans in the house? Jocko was a you-know-what to beat. That guy is tough as hell. You know how hard it was to get ahead of him? That guy will eat you and spit you out. I take his creatine now every day. It's great creatine. But, okay, we hit number 3 on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. And the only reason that this worked, right, the only reason it worked is because in the book, I did things like I put my tax return here, right, on page 6. Right, my lawyers are going, Nathan, what the hell are you doing? You can't put your tax return in the book. I said, I have to do it. You have to put it in the book. I put my board deck in the book on page 35 here. I put my first real estate purchase in the book, including the rent roll, the economics, like how it cash flows, right? I said, let me put my Stripe account for my first software company in the book, right? Let me just stick it right in here for real proof, right? And so the book did really well because of all those real tangible things. It's really no theory. It's sort of just full transparency. Out of curiosity, guys, just put book in the chat. Have any of you read the book? Have any of you grabbed it? Oh, let me go back to 1. Yeah, any of you guys grabbed it? Okay, good. There you go. A lot of guys already have it. I love that. Bonus points if you have it on your desk and you hold it up right now. I'm gonna have to ship you something really special. Oh, Stephen Markham. Stephen, that's a rare copy because that's the yellow cover. That was like the pre version. So I don't know. You must have known me for a long time.
Ryan Thrash as well.
Stephen, unmute yourself. When did you grab that version? That was a long time ago.
I think I don't know when it was actually. It wasn't that long ago, but I bought the audio book for Audible, and I've read the whole book on that, and then I want to get the book because it's just frustrating when I'm listening to the Audible and I can't look at what you put inside the actual book. So now I've got both.
Yes. Guys, that's a trick, by the way. Yeah, you're learning all my content tricks. Did you hear what he just said? If you're thinking about creating a book as a B2B software CEO or on your growth team, what you want to do is put a lot of screenshots in the physical version and then reference them in the audio version. Because anyone who buys the audio version will go, crap, he's saying, look at the screenshot on page 243. Then they go buy the audiobook. I just doubled my ACV, right? Like that's how you drive both sales. I'm actually holding up here. I found this little artifact buried in my closet this morning. I can't show you guys the full thing here, but if you guys can read, it's probably too small, but this is the actual here. This is the actual contract I signed with Portfolio Random House when they bought the book, right? So it was you can see here dated 8/8/2017, and it didn't go live till 2019. Now, I can't show you the price they paid me, so I have to sort of cover it, but you can see all the big kahunas at Portfolio, the president of Portfolio Random House, Adrian signing, David signing. It was a really, really great deal. And through those introductions, that's how I ended up on cable. That's how I got all the cable connections. So which helps now, right? So this is, I'm sort of promoting myself right now, but also showing you guys how sort of content bumping works, right? And sort of how we marry all this stuff together. And so here's what I'd love to do. If you haven't grabbed the book, I'm going to post the link to the book in the chat right now. If you grab the book right now on Amazon, I'll send you my $1 million tax return. Right? There's no lying in a tax return. You just look at it and you can see exactly how I made money. Right? And then type done in the chat when you're done with that. All right. Felix said done. That was very quick. That Amazon link is in the chat. All right. So we're about to move in. I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to do that. While you're going and doing that on Amazon, what I'm going to do is tease here a little bit the 6 additional case studies we have coming up over the next 30 minutes. They're all taken from these over 3,000 interviews I've done with software founders, right? With software founders. Subo, thanks for buying. Brian, thanks for buying. Ron, thanks for grabbing the book, guys. We'll get you that bonus here right afterwards. I'm saving the Zoom chat so I can go back and see who typed done. I can email you the bonus afterwards. So again, all the content you guys are learning here, I'm not a genius. I'm just curating from these experts. You can see the CEO of Zapier, of Outreach, of GitLab, of Front, of ZoomInfo, now publicly traded, right? They all come on the show and I take their best ideas. Now, I chose to use this influence to raise a fund, right? I'm now investing in my 3rd fund at FounderPath, $150 million with my great team, right? And we're loaning $1 million into businesses doing $3 or $4 million. You then pay us back over time, so there's no dilution. This all comes from my horror story with VC early on, right? So if you guys are interested in getting funding, right, or capital, you can request capital at founderpath.com. We'd love to look at getting you guys some funding. All right? Rachel said, I already have the book. George said, how do you transcribe your podcast? Guys, it'll take me 60 seconds to show that. Type transcribe in the chat if you want to see how I do that for free really quick. I'll screen share and show you if enough people say transcribe. You guys are controlling me here, right? This is, I don't know how many people are live now, but you guys sort of can tell me where you want to go. Someone just said it in the chat. I think, Nick, I think you just said it. Here it is. I'm going to be silent while I show you guys this. Here's all I do. I go here. So I'm using riverside.fm, guys. And you see this triple dot here? I'm clicking it, and I'm clicking download transcript. Download transcript. That then generates a .txt file, and that .txt file is what I then feed here, right? So I have a new episode, and then I tell it what I want it to do. Write the YouTube description or write the webinar topic. Here, I'll show you, write the webinar topic, just so you can see what that looks like. Right, I upload the file, right? I pull that TXT file, and then it's gonna go to work.
Amazon sold out.
Did Amazon just sell out of books? Is that what happened?
Sold out.
I'm sorry if you guys were too, I've never had Amazon sell out before. I apologize if you're trying to buy and there's nothing. I guess you just have to do the audiobook. Sorry about that. I've never seen them sell out. That's crazy. Sorry about that, guys. Let's jump into section 2, though. We're going to talk about going viral on LinkedIn with video from Tycho, how Superwall got 3,000 customers, and Wes Bush, the king of PLG in the age of AI. Let's start with LinkedIn video. Guys, how many of you guys are testing LinkedIn video? Just put LinkedIn video in the text. How many of you guys are testing LinkedIn video? And while we're doing that, Tycho, get ready, man. Get yourself unmuted. Are you in the house? Where are you?
I'm here.
There he is. Where is he? Guys in studio, is there any way I can get Tycho? Oh, there he is. Great. Okay, Tycho, so this is great. I'm going to butcher your last name, but I'm addicted to your content, right? So I think that's a fair trade, right? Guys, I see this guy go viral and I go, he's not just creating like stupid content. You know, there's a lot of famous people that are broke, right? Tycho is one of those and not the other, right? He knows how to use fame to drive B2B SaaS revenue. So Tycho, here's one of your last posts. What are people, as you, I'm going to go into your slides here. You're at Dapper Growth Agency. You're creating these videos. What are they going to learn here in the next 3-4 minutes as we start the timer here in studio?
Yep. So thanks, Nathan. What people are going to learn is how to go viral with content, video content, particularly on LinkedIn, and not only go viral, but also drive revenue with it.
I love that. So guys, here's the proof. I only bring people on that have done it. Look at these view counts here. Can you guys, is it big enough? Thumbs up if it's big enough on my screen. Can you guys see it? Just thumbs up so I can, Aaron Carr said, kind of, sort of. Tycho, while you're doing that, just talk through these 3 videos. I'm going to go to your page directly while you sort of tease people.
Yeah. So in the past 6 weeks, we went viral 6 times. Actually, this morning again, with the last one that you saw there, the remake of Pulp Fiction. So we go viral all the time. And what I want to tell you guys today is kind of the steps that I take to go viral, and the steps that I take to create content that goes viral and generates revenue.
This is crazy. The amount, I mean, I have never seen, I see some people have like a one-hit wonder. I very rarely see people where they do it over and over and it just constantly goes viral. Now, look, not all of yours get it, but the ones where you're putting real effort into, right? Like these ones where there's a clear track, there's a clear production, right? Like you're getting the engagement. So, okay, so teach us 6 weeks, 6 virals, this much in pipeline. What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So what I think is most important to share is that next to thousands of likes and a bunch of comments and new connections, most importantly, of course, it drives revenue, right? So every time we post a video like that, we get a bunch of inbound leads that we convert to new business, to new revenue.
I love that. All right, take us through the steps here.
Yeah. Do you want me to share my screen? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you want to take it. It's much better if you take it over.
No, you can share it. So I think there are 3 things, Nathan, that we do in order to create viral content that drives revenue. Viral content that drives revenue needs to, first of all, grab attention. Second of all, needs to be extremely entertaining or interesting, and it needs to clearly show the problem that you solve or your expertise. So if you go to that next slide.
Yep.
Yeah. So grabbing attention, right? How do you grab attention? Well, the main thing that I want to tell you guys here is that you want to break the pattern. Oh, it doesn't work.
You share screen, Tycho. You share screen. Do you have the slides? You share screen.
Yeah, sure. Better.
It'd be better. Yeah, you drive.
There we go. So what you want to do is you want to break the pattern, right? You want to do something that people haven't seen before. So for instance, on the right-hand side, we recorded a video with a 50-year-old camera and posted it on LinkedIn. And everything you see on LinkedIn is AI generated, is super polished. So this is different. This breaks the pattern and therefore stands out. Then making your content super entertaining or super interesting. People are on LinkedIn and generally on social media to laugh or to learn. So your viral content needs to do either one of them. And what I see with a lot of B2B SaaS companies is that they make a lot of interesting content, a lot of thought leadership content, but they don't capitalize on entertaining content, right? So what can you do to make entertaining content? Well, one thing that works for me almost every single time is to leverage on a format that people recognize. So for instance, a movie scene that people know, such as the Pulp Fiction video that I posted this morning, or Wolf of Wall Street. Viral trends, like the video on the right-hand side, which is basically a remake of what do you do for a living, but then for B2B marketers or TV shows and game shows. So leverage a format that people already like and recognize and make it your own. Next to that, you want to make it extremely relatable to you for your ICP. So what a lot of people do if they want to go viral, they try to make content that speaks to everybody. Well, that's not something you should do. You should make it extremely relatable to your small group of ideal customers. And as soon as you do that, you have the chance of going viral within your niche, which is most important because that's also the group of people that you're trying to sell to, right? Then lastly, you do not want to underestimate the impact of good acting. So I see a lot of videos.
Wait, what does that mean, Tycho? Are you a professional actor here? Can anyone run these tactics, or do they have to be like a professional actor?
No, I'm 100% not a professional actor, but you do have to pick and choose the people who work in your business that are most comfortable in front of a camera. So I have 45 people working in my agency, and I know the 4 or 5 people that I should be making videos with, such as Steven, who did a great impersonation of Matthew McConaughey in this Wolf of Wall Street video, reaching millions of people, by the way, and a lot of pipeline. So try to pick and choose the people in your business that can actually act a little bit and most importantly are comfortable in front of a camera, right? Then lastly, what I want to emphasize is that it's super important that you show the problem that you solve in your content. So just going viral is useless. Don't aim just going viral. You're not an influencer. You're trying to get in new business, right? So you want to show the value of your product in a creative way. You want to show the prospect that you understand their problems. And lastly, you want to have your own experts star in a video. If you have your own people star in a video, that's where you create credibility, legitimacy, and eventually pipeline.
I love this. These are the 3 steps here. So guys, we want to take this into Q&A. Now look, I forced Tycho to teach us stuff very quickly, but there's a lot of nuance that he nails behind the scenes that you just don't see. So if you've got a question, Tycho, are you hanging out for a couple minutes in the chat? So if people have questions, they can put it there?
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
And then what, guys, again, I only want you guys to sort of give my guests, quote, permission to sell if you think they earned it. Do you want to know how Tycho helps people to do this and charges for it? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat. While you do that, they said, how do you record the videos, manually or AI, Tycho?
Manually.
Manually. Okay.
Yep.
All right. You have permission. Where should people go if they want to connect with you, man?
Awesome. So yeah, just in short, we build revenue generating marketing machines for B2B scale-ups, right? Mostly SaaS. And I think there are a couple of things that are good to mention. We're one of the top B2B marketing agencies in Europe. So we're not based in the US, but we're fluent in English and we have a proven track record working with companies in the US or running campaigns in the US. And I think most importantly is that we're about half the price of US-based agencies. So that makes it very attractive for B2B scale-ups from the US to work together with us. How do you get in touch? You simply go to my LinkedIn, shoot me a message, and I'm happy to brainstorm with you about your marketing. Also, if we don't end up working together, but would love to work together with you guys. So looking forward to your DMs.
Guys, give it for Tycho. Tycho, thanks, man. We appreciate that. It's super rare to see someone consistently go viral. You're nailing it. So thanks for coming on. Real quick, though, I'm going to push you because people are asking for some numbers in the chat, and that's my MO. I got to do it. What does it cost you to put out a video like the one you did, and how long did that take you to produce, the Wolf on Wall Street one?
Wolf of Wall Street was super cheap. So I'm just going to give you the cost of doing it for myself, right? So I'm not charging myself, obviously, but we had a brainstorm for about an hour to get to a couple of ideas. Then we decided to go for the Wolf of Wall Street video. We probably had 2 weeks of prep, and on the day of itself, and not 2 full-time weeks of like a couple hours spread out through the week, through the 2 weeks, and then we had 2 hours of recording and maybe a couple of hours of editing. Okay. It wasn't a lot of time, honestly.
So if someone here is wanting to work with you to do a video for their niche, something that's funny, because what people are thinking right now is I'm in an unsexy niche. I need Tycho's scripting abilities to make it exciting to go viral, right? That's what everyone's, I think, guys, raise your hand. Am I nailing it? That's, I think, probably what most people are thinking, right? They're like, I run a waste management SaaS. How do I use Tycho? So Tycho, what's the least you charge? Like if people want to work with you, what's the smallest amount you sort of look at per month?
Yeah. So we have a retainer model in which we both create content and distribute content and make sure that exactly the right people see your content and reach out to you eventually. The retainers that we have start at around $4K a month.
Okay, guys, there you have it. He shared some numbers. There you have it. So he'll be in the chat if you have questions for him. Fire back over. But Tycho, thanks for taking us to the top, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course. My pleasure.
All right. Guys, let's jump into tactic number 5 here, which is Superwall. Now, if you don't know Superwall is an automated paywall testing application that some of the fastest growing mobile AI apps are using to run paywall experiments very, very quickly. And what I want you guys to look at, their pricing page is very unique. Look at the left side and look at the right side. And can you tell what's missing from the middle? Look at the left, look at the right, and what's missing from the middle? All right. There isn't something that's like 100 per month and then 500 per month and then 10K per month and then contact us. If you look, and I interviewed Jake, I had him on the show. If you look and cut his cohorts, he's got a ton of paying customers that are no touch at under $100 per month ARPUs. Then there's almost nothing in the middle. And then he has a ton of people up at like 100 grand per year, right? Based off usage, usage pricing levers. And this is very rare. I haven't seen this before. Usually there's a middle thing, but what he tells me is, Nathan, our enterprise sales team just picks off the high users on the early end. That's when we put touch and upsell them, but it's all driven by number of paywalls and number of conversions. This is really where the future of billing is going, in my opinion, when you think about a PLG-led motion in the age of AI. And there is no one better to teach that than Wes Bush, who is not only sort of teaching this in books and seminars, but he's also building his own chat GPTs, which he's going to walk us through today. So guys, give it up for Wes Bush. Wes, I hope you're here. Are you here?
I'm here. I'm super excited to dive into this.
We're excited to have you, man. Are you back in Canada, or are you still swimming in the Straits of Jamaica or Costa Rica or wherever you are, Mexico?
It's warm now in Canada, so I'm back, but it's great to be here. So in the chat, I just put the link to the GPT. So before I get into the tactical kind of like 3 to 6 minute overview of this, how many of you want more signups? Just type in yes in the chat if this is something where like, yeah, I want more signups and everything else.
Yes, please.
And all right, cool. So to make this even more fun, this is totally random, but Jacob is going to be sharing more about Relay app later. But I'm like, hey man, let's dive in as an example for going through this for a guinea pig. So welcome, Jacob, as well. So for this part, what I want to go through is how do you actually get an offer that resonates with people? And so if you really boil it down, there's really just like 3 things that I think most SaaS companies get wrong. The first thing is you got to get really clear, like what is the result? What are people going to get from this? And then 2, what people have to know is what is the main advantage? Why should I use your software versus the other alternatives out there? Because at the end of the day, your homepage, it has to go through and really answer the part of, why this approach versus another approach. That's the whole goal of, especially if you have a product-led company, on that homepage that you have to do. And then the last part is just the assurance. So what is actually preventing people from signing up, getting excited about your product, and really going through the whole process of signing up for free and going through those things? And so what we're actually going to do here with relay.app, to give you a little bit of a context, is Jacob, are you here? Just checking.
He is. Jacob, are you there? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, here I am. Good to see you, Wes.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Don't pull any punches. Don't pull any punches. Be harsh on us.
I know we had a workshop about a couple of weeks ago with Ramley and Jacob as well. So this is fun. We went through his onboarding. But for today, like we got your awesome app here, which is like create AI agents that work for you. So what I've done, if you're following along on the GPT, just drop in your URL. It'll look through, try and guess your target audience. But Jacob, just what is your target audience real quick?
Operations pros at small and medium businesses.
Okay, so I'll just put that operations pros. And for everyone else, just go through this. If you go through the entire GPT, you will literally get a fully built out homepage for this part. But we're just going to go through the very first piece of like, how do you craft a killer offer?
Real quick, I'm watching people's faces. I want to make sure people understand what they're about to get. Guys, so Wes has built this kind of stuff for Keep, for Full Story, for open view companies. He's basically taken his processes, which used to only be in his head, and he's built them into a GPT that you can now talk to and get Wes's brain in chat form instantly. Right. So just Wes, now that people have context here, let's sort of jump back into your screen sharing.
Yeah, appreciate that. Sometimes I get excited to just dive into the tactics. But all right, so we got here the overview for the target audience. So yes, we'll just go ahead on this part. And what we have to go through is just what is that compelling offer? And the first thing you got to get very clear on is the result. And so most companies, it's very kind of vague. But overall, it comes down to these kind of main things. It's like, are you saving people time, making their team more money, avoiding some simple costs, or improving visibility and control? So, Jacob, for here, like, what would you say is the main thing that you're really optimizing for? Is it saving time? Is it something else?
The simplest answer would be 1, but a better answer is number 2. So let's go with that.
Okay, we could do like 1 and 2 and give it a hard time. Okay, so what I love about this, and we trained it to just make it as specific as possible. So whenever you're thinking about your overall SaaS, like how can you bring numbers to it? So are you saving a specific number of time, like 10 hours? We can just pick one for now and refine this as we go. So the next piece I want everyone to get really clear on is what is the main advantage? And so this is, I think, a humongous opportunity as well for you to really lean into here, Jacob, because it's like great AI agents to work for you. I think your main differentiator you're trying to focus on is the AI agents, but there's a lot of tools. There's like N8N, they could do something similar, not as good as what you have put together. There's Zapier, but what would you say is your main advantage?
I would not say that we're better than Zapier or N8N for everyone. I would say we're the easiest to use and most intuitive tool for less technical people. So
Yes.
Manthan showed a great demonstration of N8N. There was a lot of scary code and JSON and IDs and objects in there. A typical contractor is not going to be able to figure that out.
Totally. So I'm just going to put here, it's better for less technical folks, less scary than N8N. And that's okay. Like you can actually call out competitors in the space if they're already familiar with those people. So we've got here built for ops, not engineers. Like already, this is like, hey, that's starting to sound pretty cool. Launch automations in minutes without a steep learning curve. So I'm just going to go ahead with 1. And we got our last part here. And this is really just going through the risk. So every one of you has a risk that is holding people back from signing up for your app. And so if you're in like the technical space, this could be like, oh, I got to connect AWS. And like, if you get my credentials, I'm screwed if like something goes wrong. So for here, what would you say is like the biggest risk that really people struggle at, Jacob?
Will I get value for the amount of time I have to put into learning it?
Yeah, for time.
Said another way, is it going to be too hard to learn?
Yeah, totally. There's like the sunk time cost of just going through this whole activity.
Try and. So I want to lead. You can't teach everything, you know, obviously on this. I want to tease this a little bit and then gauge the audience's reaction, and then have you on and do a larger program on this on the next webinar if people get pumped about it. But these are basically like the risks and thing. You're basically writing the headlines that should be on Jacob and Relay's landing page effectively, right? Helping them think about product and positioning.
Yeah, absolutely. So with those first 3 pieces, like that is your overview of an offer. And then if you keep going through the GPT, it'll spit out a complete homepage for you. So if you keep going on that after the workshop, of course, pay attention to the next speakers, but that'll help you build out the entire piece of your new homepage. So I just want to see it live.
Guys, out of curiosity, I'm always looking for new talent. My thing as I was watching Wes do this is I'm going, we should all be building GPTs with our value prop as lead gen for our B2B SaaS business. Is anyone interested in actually learning how Wes built the actual GPT, maybe on next month's call? Say yes in the chat if you think that'd be a compelling segment, or raise your hand. Would anyone want to see that? For non-technical people, Wendy Harris, I see your hand. Wes, I think that's the thing. So don't tell anyone how you did it. We're going to do it on the next webinar. We'll give you 5-10 minutes to show it on the next webinar. Okay.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. If people want to learn more from you, Wes, where can they find you online?
Yes. So the best place to just go to productled.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, just Wes Bush. And that's where I post daily. But after hearing all the speakers, it's like, oh man, maybe it should be 4 times a day now.
Yeah, guys, I love Wes. Again, there's a lot of folks in the industry, but he always delivers. He's also just a kind human. He's humble, but really knows his stuff, and he's very focused. So great teacher as well. So Wes, thanks for coming on, guys. Give him a round of applause. Appreciate you, Wes.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, we just wrapped up section 2. You learned about pricing strategy. You learned how to go viral on LinkedIn. You learned about paywalls from Superwall, and you learned about custom GPTs and building great landing pages with Wes, which is a bit of foreshadowing into our next section 3, which we're going to talk about expanding fast with 3 different tactics, ranging from affiliates, directories, and then building an AI agent org chart. Let's jump into Zapmail. I'm going to go quick here because I want to give Jacob enough time to really get into Relay app because it's really compelling. All I want you to know about Zapmail, okay, is he's bootstrapped to $6 million of revenue. Listen to what I'm saying. In 6 months. You'll say it again. 6 million in 6 months. I don't say that to brag. I don't say that to make us all feel like shit because that's, I mean, I'm competitive. I just feel like shit when I hear that. I go, what the hell? This is great. But what he did is he did it purely with affiliates. And what he did differently than what I've taught in the past, right? Because I change my mind all the time when I get new information. He gives lifetime commissions of 30%. Most affiliate programs don't do that. They go to 0 in year 2. So his whole, if I was going to put a silver bullet on Zapmail, they have no fixed salaries for sales reps. They do a lifetime commission program, and he's bootstrapped to 6 million very, very quickly for those reasons. His full interview with me will be going up on YouTube next week. So subscribe to my YouTube if you want to make sure you catch that full section. And if you're not sure how to launch your affiliate program, consider one of these 8 tools. These are the most common mentioned tools when founders come on my show that they say they use to set up tracking links, to pay out the commissions, to do all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, for those of you just joining us, you're joining sort of at the end of the webinar. We are live in my living room here in Austin, Texas. It is June 10th. I have LinkedIn and Twitter in front of me, the live feeds. I've got the Zoom audiences on my left and the right. The back of my head looks ridiculous. I need to talk to the haircutter there about a straight line. But anyways, we're having a ton of fun here in studio, and we're going to wrap up here with 2 more case studies. The first is SEO Bot, which hit $3.5 million using his own directory strategy. What is a directory strategy? This is the shortcut, guys, to getting a lot of backlinks to your website quickly to juice your domain rating. You have no shot at showing up in the LLM search results, the chat search results for your niche, like what's the top email marketing software, if you don't have a domain rating above 30, 40, 50. So what's a quick way to do that? You can use these directories to list yourself, and they all give you those backlinks, right? Matt said it looks like Barton Springs. It does look a little like Barton Springs, right? But he has done this and bootstrapped at 3.5 million. And guys, the reason I wanted to highlight John Rush, he's a one-man shop. I think this is the future of AI. It's like everyone in the world is gonna have a side project, right? They're gonna be very happy doing 2 to 3 million bucks of ARR, right? With a bunch of agents, right? And they're just gonna print, I mean, it's gonna just be profitable. This is gonna be the new full-time job. You guys think I'm crazy? Raise your hand if you maybe agree with that. Is that, I think it's the future. We're gonna go from 150,000 founders to 10 million founders, right? Maybe, yeah, some people raising their hand, right? All right, this one's gonna be good. Jacob, I had on my podcast last, what was it? Maybe a week or 2 ago, and I forced him to screen share and teach me live, and he was a great teacher, but I found him because of this post on the right. Can you guys see this post? It went really viral on LinkedIn, and the reason it went viral is well, you can read what he said. Our marketing team is just me and 40 AI agents, and here they are. This is not an org chart. Jacob, true or false? There's no full-time employees in the screenshot.
Correct.
This is wild. Okay, we're going to start the 5-minute clock here in studio. What are you going to teach folks in the next 5 minutes? Take over the screen.
Okay, so I'm Jacob. I'm the founder of Related App. I'm also the marketing team, the sales team, the support team, the customer success team, the finance team, the recruiting team, the HR team, and the operations team. So I am 9 departments or 8 departments in our company. And the only way I could do this is I've built up an org chart of AI agents in each of those departments to help me get my work done. And what I want to show you now is how I've basically constructed this. And it's going to look crazy. It's going to look overwhelming. There's going to be 200 total and 40 in marketing. But then when I zoom in, I'm going to show you how simple each individual one is. So there's this contrast where there's a huge amount of power and potential in the breadth of these AI agents. That's what lets me do 9 roles as a one person team. But if you look at each individual one, you'll be like, oh, that's super simple. So let me dive in and show it to you.
Yeah, take over, man.
Okay, so here is my overall company org chart of AI agents, which is displayed as folders in our product, Related App. And you could use N8N for this. You could use Zapier for this. We, of course, use Related App because it's our company. And you can see that for every organization in a typical company, I have a folder. I have engineering, I have marketing, I have accounting, I have biz ops, I have HR, I have legal, I have several within product, I have sales support. And so let me show you marketing. And now Instead of showing you this folder view, I'm going to show you the org chart view, because that's often a really nice way to get your mind rolling of like, oh, if I were to hire people for all these responsibilities, how would I think about it? And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see in more detail. But the way we've divided our marketing org chart, which may or may not be right for you, is by channel. So we have an SEO channel, we have a social media channel, we have an email marketing channel, we have an educational cohorts as a channel, we have communities as a channel, we have webinars as a channel. And so in each of those channels, I have, 4 to 10 agents somehow organized into sub-functions. And if I dive into just social media, you'll see that I've divided social media marketing into 3 roles. There's content research, content creation, and tracking and follow-up. How do I get ideas? How do I make the posts? And then how do I see if the posts are performing and then follow up with all the leads that come from them? And so if I show you one specific example in content creation, I want to show you an AI agent that automatically creates LinkedIn posts for new YouTube videos. This is something very similar to what you showed, Nathan, earlier, where you have your Claude project set up, where your main asset is the transcript of your podcast, and then you need to repurpose that into many different types of content. Similarly for us, I make these long YouTube tutorial videos, and I want to make sure they're being promoted on LinkedIn, on Twitter, through our email marketing channel. And here's how simple an individual agent in this diagram is. Every time a new video comes up in YouTube, we go fetch on our YouTube channel. We go fetch the transcript, so we have access to the full text of the video. We use Claude 4.0 Sonnet based on all of our previous LinkedIn posts in a similar fashion to the Claude project that you had, Nathan, to create a LinkedIn post promoting this video. We automatically pull the thumbnail image down from YouTube. We have a human in the loop approval. I make sure to approve every single piece of content that my AI agents create before they get posted, just to make sure they're both factually accurate and in my style. And then it gets posted. And so the 2 points that I want to highlight in this talk, and I know we're super short on time, is number 1, I want to push all of you to think way more ambitiously about how much you can do with a very small team, and how you can think about, instead of defaulting to hiring a contractor, defaulting to hiring an intern, how you can default to creating your very own personal AI agent to do it. And then number 2, so that's big thinking. It can feel complex when you look at the org chart, but second, it's so easy and so approachable. I'm not a coder. You don't have to be a coder. Anyone who can kind of string together a couple triggers and a couple actions and write a prompt can create exactly what I just created.
I love this, guys. I think this is the future, right? I mean, I told Jake when he showed me this, I want to see a little like a number at the bottom of each of those columns that shows the output of what each one generates, like number of leads, amount of revenue, a number of webinar registrations, number of blog post views, number of LinkedIn things, right? Guys, now out of curiosity, I'm trying to get in your head so I can bring you better content from Jacob maybe next month. So 2 questions. You all run processes at your company. You have something you want to automate and do what Jacob did, like build that. Can you type it in the chat real quick? Say agent, and then type the agent you would love to build. You might say automatically post to YouTube to my LinkedIn. You might, Jacob, what are some other examples?
Automatically qualify every lead who signs up on my website forum. Automatically prepare me for every sales meeting. Automatically follow up based on the transcript of the sales meeting. Automatically generate insights from my customer calls every week. Automatically summarize all the support issues that came in today. Automatically track all the upgrades we had this week and what they're using in the product. You can go on and on once you get your mind rolling.
Yep, guys, and Will in studio, if we could go back to sharing my screen here, you guys can see I'm zooming in like on his social media org chart here. Just read that the job titles are now actions, right? I think that's the big thing here. We're moving from an org chart with job titles to org charts that are actions. And if you don't document your actions clearly, you're never going to get the value of AI and agents. And your revenue per employee is going to stay at 100 grand, right? Which you can't make money on. Right? You want to get up to like $1 million in revenue per employee. You have to document these agents. So all those agents you guys just put in the chat, we will maybe have Jacob build one of these live next month inside of Relay app, like a real demo instead of just clicking through it. Guys, help me. So Jacob, I helped you put you on the spot, but this is my only way to get feedback. Guys, 0 to 10, 10 being like you want Jacob on next month to teach you about how to build one of these inside real time. I can give him more time next time. Okay, Jacob, you're a celebrity. Look, you're getting 12s and everything. This is great.
I'm super excited to do it. And in the follow-up, can people vote on the use case they want to see built live so that we can make sure it's tuned to be really valuable to the audience?
We will absolutely do that. And guys, I don't want you to miss out on this. Jacob, wait, just real quick. Tell him how you did. Tell him, can you just, I know we're out of time. We're going to wrap up here, guys, in a second with a big bonus at the end. But Jacob, real quick, this went up. You had no idea if it would go viral. It went viral. And then what did you do in like 2 seconds to make sure you're capturing leads from your LinkedIn post?
So usually when I write these posts on LinkedIn, I haven't actually made the thing yet because I want to see if anyone cares before I publish the thing. So I had my own version of the org chart, which was just like a crappy PNG screenshot. And then when I saw this thing get 16,000 comments, I was like, oh man, I actually need to create a better resource to drive people to. So we spun up a dedicated landing page. We built some templates. Yes, you can see the full PNG if you click that see org chart button, but now you get a much more robust experience that lets you actually take action on the stuff for yourself.
Yeah, you guys want this link? You want me to drop in the chat? Here it is. Go check it out. That's the future right there. That is the future.
And one funny thing is it had 16,000 comments. Of course, I have an AI agent that goes through and replies to the simple comments. The more complex comments I handle personally, but the simple comments that are just like interested, send me the thing. I have an AI agent that goes through those. The problem is due to LinkedIn rate limiting, I can only do 500 a day. So it's going to take me about 45 days to get back to everyone. So I really apologize if you have commented on that post. I'm not a scam artist. I am going to get back to you. It's just going to take a few days.
Anyone who's gone viral on LinkedIn, you know this. Tycho knows this problem. When you go viral, Menthan knows this problem. People go, this is baloney. You didn't actually send it. And you're going, no, but like when 30,000 people ask for it, that's a lot of one-on-one messages. Just give me some time. I'll get back to you, right? We love that. Well, guys, hey, that resource that Jacob put together is really valuable. The second thing I want to say is all these little snippets that you're learning on the webinars, we always cut them up and list them on our resource page as well. And they're broken down into little mini courses. You can learn from Adam Robinson about how to bootstrap, for example. You'll get his full slide deck with all of his data, his revenue, his Stripe screenshots, the full video, and then like a course down here. And this is all free. It's all free. So if you want to bookmark this one, you can go right to that link, right? Maybe just open it real quick so you can bookmark it. And we'll add all the content from today here as well. What I recommend you guys do is click on the list view. Look over here on the revenue size that you are and what you're interested in learning across the top, and then click on those courses. We've used AI to sort all the courses. There's over 600 courses here taught all from founders. Super, super, super valuable resource there for free. So check that out. The link is in the chat there. All right, guys, so section 3, you learned how to build an agent army. You learned about affiliates and lifetime commissions and bot directories to make sure you get backlinks, a high domain authority to show up in those LLMs quickly. This is the massive shot here with everything in one thing. We built agents, we went viral, we expand fast. We learned from Menthan, we learned from Tycho, we learned from Wes, we learned from Jacob. You guys taught each other. It was, I don't know how many people are still live. We were live on LinkedIn as well. Pradeep, Oliver, Trace, good to see you. We were live on X as well. It was a really great program today. And guys, we're going to do it again. The link is lu.fma/FP10. I'm asking you, please, 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 to go do this now because we were way over our RSVP limit on Luma. This time I had to upgrade the account. And so if you guys go RSVP early, it helps us plan resources. I can get more people here in studio, more TVs in my living room. It helps us just run a better program. So the link is there in the chat, lu.ma/FP10. And if you do that, if you RSVP for the next webinar, you'll also get the slide deck from today, right? You'll get that deck from today. You'll get the recording from today as well. On that note, guys, before we wrap up, just raise your hand if you took at least one tactic away. Do you have is your mind buzzing? Do you feel like that energy that you feel after you watch a good video or read a good book? You feel a little bit. Aaron Carr, what was your big takeaway? One thing.
Honestly, the free tool idea was awesome at the start, but this build your own AI agents just kind of blew my mind. I'm having a little bit of a personal meltdown thinking about all this stuff I want to do.
That's amazing. Well, guys, again, this is not AI Nathan. This is real Nathan. You're here in my living room. It was great connecting with all of you today. We do this every month. I think it's the largest gathering of software leaders in the world every month. We'll do it again next month, guys. Thank you for giving me 65 minutes of your time here on Tuesday, June 10th. I'm Nathan Latka at Founder Path. Check us out if you want funding. Take care, guys. See ya later. Bye, Wendy. Bye,
Will you
Edgar.
be sending the slide deck out?
Yes, yes. Watch your follow-up emails.
Okay, thank you.
Guys,
Great session.
take care. Bye. Bye. Thanks, Anthony.
Bye.